Hey, what's up, Kid family? So today my subwoofer is not working. We're gonna take a look, see what's going on, and see if we can fix it. Cause it's summertime, nice weather. We want the music up and the windows down. So let's check it out. So I'm here in the car. Sound system does not work. Yeah, I just don't understand. So I used the digital multimeter just to see if the amplifier is getting power. And it's not. One simple way is if your amplifier has a green light when it is getting power, you can tell it is getting suffice power. But mine, my green light wasn't on, so now I'm like, why isn't it getting power? There should be a positive charge going to the amplifier at all times, but it is only when I turn on my car's ignition, when the radio turns on, I have the remote wire hooked up to a fuse. That's when the amplifier actually turns on and utilizes that 12-volt power coming from the battery. Problem is, I am getting power from the remote, but I'm not getting power from the battery. On the positive side of the wire, there is a big fuse, and I think that's my problem. The fuse doesn't look blown, as I'll show you, but the edges have been melting away, and I think it just lost contact, and that's the problem. So, show you guys what we're gonna do. We're most likely gonna cut it, install a new fuse pole assembly, and we should be back in business. So let's go under the hood. So as you guys can see, these pieces all look melted. Not sure what the reason behind this is. The fuse is still intact and working, but I'm pretty sure we lost connection because these poles at the end of the fuse is probably separated and the power isn't transferring through. So we're gonna dissect this. So you guys can see, after removing the tape, this definitely does not look normal. Whole housing is melted, so I can still probably just unscrew this side normally, but here we're just gonna chop some of this wire off. As always, guys, make sure you remove the battery terminal, the negative side, before working on electronics. So like I said, we are going to be able to salvage this wire. We're just going to unloosen it here with an Allen key, and then we're going to cut this one right over here. Talk about white powder here. Anyway, guys, this side I'm just going to rip apart here. There we go. As you guys can see, definitely something defective here. As you guys can see, here's the new part, here's the old part. We're just going to replace it, put everything back in reverse. That way the power can go in from here and exit out here properly. I believe, again, it was a connection problem here. Make sure you got a good thick wire in there. Okay, that looks pretty rock solid. Alright, everything seems tight here now. Just tighten everything back up. And now the power should be going through. We're gonna get power going through the fuse, and we got the good connection, so the power should go all the way to the back here. I'm gonna show you guys. So here we are. Far to the left we got the power. The middle one, this little blue one, is the remote, and the third one is the ground. So the the amp is supposed to get power regardless. It's supposed to stay connected. It just doesn't turn on until the remote wire triggers the amp to turn on, which is when the radio or the ignition is turned on. A lot of these amps have little light LED signals, so when I turn it on, this one should be green. If it is green, or we already know we fixed the problem, because before I wasn't getting the green light. I made sure that no side. The power light is still not on. Looks like, honestly, looks like we might have another problem on our hands if that's not it. Alright, so clearly we got the multimeter here. When I go directly from battery terminal to battery terminal, I get 12.5 volts. If I go from the end of here to the battery terminal, I get 9.6, 10, 12.5, depending where I put it. So there has to be a connection from here to here that's not proper. That's why we're not getting power to the back. So I'm actually going to cut this old wire here that looks like there's a lot of corrosion on it. We're going to cut that out. We're going to expose some of that fresh wire here. There's even corrosion built up in here. Pretty funky. I'm gonna make one more cut. See if we can get some cleaner wire here. There we go. Got some more fresh wire here. So alright, let's go check it out. As you guys can see, my light is on. I mean, it's working, so it's for sure, but just to show you guys what was the issue earlier on. This was the positive, this is the negative. As you guys can see, now we have voltage. Before, when I used to test positive and negative wires themselves, I was not getting a voltage. So I knew right away the power is not coming into the back, and since the remote was getting power, I knew the problem had to be here, especially seeing this. So we got a new fuse. We cut off some of the old wiring because that might have been not giving us a good connection, but everything is working beautifully now. So we're just gonna tape this off a little bit so no moisture gets in, and we'll be good to go.